Are you streaming to YouTube too?
Yeah, yep. Oh, you just got a notification, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I stream to all of them at the same time.
yeah.
Alexa, mute. Get her out of here. All right. What's good,
It's
y'all? We're
on
gonna be starting
Facebook
in like
too.
yeah, it's on Facebook too. Yeah. It might be going to my game channel on Facebook though. Ain't no telling. It might not go to my regular one. I don't fuck with niggas on there too much. I be with the gang. I be fucking with
Shit,
the gang.
tag me on that shit.
All right.
Yeah, tag me, nigga.
All right. Let me see. I don't know how to work this shit like that. I'm gonna make here. I'm gonna do it when I put it up because you know this is just the what's the name. And we gonna film this shit. And I'm gonna cut. So shit. What nigga Drib at? Without further ado, once Drib get back on.
Without further ado,
Further
I
ado.
don't even know what the fuck ado mean.
Me neither, nigga. I just know that motherfuckers say it and they mean some shit coming. They about to do some shit right damn now or soon off this bitch. So, and I got my other screen up, so yeah, they ain't seeing none of this shit. So yeah, there you go. All right. So without further ado,
Without any fuss or delay.
without any fuss or delay, that sound better. Done
Immediately.
immediately. Let me get this shit hooked up and then we good. What's that you say? Without any fuss or delay.
Yep.
So without any fuss or delay, we gonna get into it like this. What's good with y'all, man? Welcome to the Talking Shit Show
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
with your host
What's
PG the
good?
Hustler, and I got my partner. My
It's
partner's
your
with
boy
me.
Dirty P30, aka Joey Bucks.
All right. Drip.
What's going on, Ralphie Drib? Ralphie Drib in the Ralphie Drib in the crib.
Already. So the first thing we all decided we gonna talk about. I know the All Star game was just this weekend. Niggas had a ball. The dunk contest was fucking straight garbage. I turned it
Garbage.
off. I didn't even watch it. I seen niggas miss two dunks. I turned it off. So I'm done. Fuck you niggas. I see y'all niggas next year. I'd rather watch y'all niggas in the game.
Cheeto.
I don't know why that shit was so horrible. But the fucking highlight was this fucking this Earth, Wind, and Fire performance, dog. And the way these niggas was looking on this bitch, bro. We finna run this bitch right now, man.
Leslie Gray too though.
Man, check this shit out.
Everybody on your feet.
This shit
Everybody
is
on your feet.
hilarious,
Come on,
man.
come on. Everybody on your feet. Everybody on your feet. Come on, come on. Everybody
Is
on
the
your feet.
sound on?
Yeah, I
Everybody on
hear
your
it.
feet.
You hear it?
Can you
Yeah.
feel it?
I don't hear
Come on and wave
shit.
those
You don't
hands.
hear it?
Come on, can you feel it? Come on, come on, come on and wave those hands. Come on, can you feel it?
What you on?
What the
It
Come
might
on
be
and
because
wave
you on
those
your what's the name.
hands.
You know, we got
Yeah.
our headphones and shit
Yeah.
in.
Oh,
Listen.
Might be because you
okay.
on your phone. You using just one
It's your
source.
pony
Philip Bailey,
style.
cut it, man. Cut
Yeah,
cut it off,
look
man.
at
Cut it off, man.
Look at
Cut
this
it
shit,
off,
man.
man.
look at
Gangster going from the back. I'm telling you, he got the
Yeah,
Steve
man.
Harvey dread.
You ain't lying.
He got the Steve Harvey dread, nigga. That shit is nowhere near Okay, he's not playing that guitar. That nigga just strutting
Oh
around,
shit.
dog.
Oh shit,
That nigga
man.
just gallivanting on stage. He ain't playing near note.
Nothing.
Bro. Bruh. I'm about to flip
That guitar probably don't even work.
What kind of jacket is that he got on?
Man, listen.
It look like it want to be a suit jacket and a jean jacket at the same time.
Yeah, dude, it is.
And what is that? Corduroy?
Man, that shit look like something, dog.
We
That,
found the house that is perfect
Yeah, they
for
could have
them
kept
us.
that. They
The
could have
day of
kept that.
I'm done with that, dog. I'm done with that, man.
Yeah, they could have kept that. They could have kept that.
I'm done with that shit, man.
Buffet brawl at Golden Corral.
Oh, yeah, we definitely about to check that out, man. That shit. I'm finna roll it. I'm about to just keep it going, man. Fuck it. We done seen Verdine ugly ass.
To investigate
yeah, dog. That
That's
nigga,
crazy.
Bucks County. They
he did. He's senile or something. He
Man.
ain't
Corral.
he ain't even coherent, dog.
Nah, he can't be.
They get that nigga from the nursing home and put some clothes on him and just put him out
That's
on
what they
stage.
did. That's what they did.
Facts. Did you?
His,
Facts. 'Cause
his,
you know
his
they
old
doing
ass, his old ass nephew hooked him up.
And you know they doing that.
Yeah, that nigga
did,
just lined up in the nursing home with a bonnet on, dog, with a
Yeah.
do-rag on, tied up.
Nigga, they
Hair
did
wrap.
Tony Bennett. They did Tony Bennett like that. Nigga got off stage and 10 minutes later he ain't even remember what the fuck he did. Nigga said that was great, Tony. Nigga said what?
Oh, yeah, that's what's going on with me.
What I do? Lady Gaga said that nigga. That was the first time that nigga said my name when he was on stage. It's sad, but it ain't funny. But them niggas they be like in the form of dementia or some shit. And so the nigga
That nigga been on a 60-year acid trip, dog. That nigga think probably
Tony Bennett.
nigga that in the 60s, nigga. In the 60s when I was on that funkadelic shit, nigga.
You talking about Verdine and them?
Yeah, he still got the same drugs they had back then.
He still
Yeah,
got
he
the
did
same
that
hair.
acid, nigga. He
Same
still
pack.
on that shit.
Mhm.
They told him to take they only told him to take one dose, nigga. He ate the whole sheet, nigga.
That's what it looked like when he was sitting up there. That shit was hilarious, bro. Like who let these niggas go out there like that? Who said, "Hey, yeah, that shit look good. That shit look good. Go ahead, run that."
I'm telling you, his old ass nephew, his 60-year-old nephew.
That nigga need to be fired. That nigga need to be.
Man, I needed to be recorded how hard I was laughing at that shit the first time I seen it, dog.
Yes, nigga.
Mm.
Yeah, that shit had me hollering, nigga. In
I
the
was in
crib.
tears. Yeah, I was in tears laughing at that shit.
That shit fucking crazy, man. Let's look at these niggas though.
fists and even throwing.
Where was this at?
Action News reporter Walter Perez is live outside the Golden Corral on the 1400 block of Street Road in Bensalem. Walter, what is the latest on all of this?
Fuck is Ben Salem?
Well, Jim, we
I
just did
don't
a Zoom
fucking
interview
know.
with someone involved in that fight. Now, there's always two sides to a story, sometimes three, but Alexis Rios did give us really good insight
I
into
want to
exactly
see
what
what the
happened.
fuck.
Action News spoke with one of the people at the center of this melee that erupted inside the Golden
Damn,
Corral
nigga,
in
they
Bensalem this
throwing
past
tables?
Friday afternoon. Alexis
Pennsylvania.
Rios says it started over a misunderstanding regarding a piece of steak. Rios says the person in front of him became angry with the cook because Rios received his steak first.
He's trying to understand what you want. He's trying to give you what you want.
Honestly, y'all, I can hear that shit. I can't even hear it.
Faster to cook than a well-done steak. That's why I got my steak first.
And Rios thinks part of
You
the
ain't got no
reason things
headphones
escalated so
hooked into
quickly
your
is
laptop?
because everyone was wearing masks.
Yeah, I'm on
The
my
people
tablet
involved
though.
had a hard time understanding
That's why,
what the
'cause it's
others
that
were
tablet,
saying.
nigga.
With COVID right now, masks.
If I plug some headphones into my tablet, would it work?
There's a lot of commotion there. The cooks behind there are talking. Nobody can hear nobody. You have to speak up loud.
Next thing you know, he says, that misunderstanding erupted into an all-out brawl.
I grabbed a chair
Goddamn.
to defend myself, and then sooner or later, that was it. Punches were getting
He
thrown.
grabbed the
chairs were
chair
getting
to
thrown.
defend himself.
You name it. You can call it cups, glasses, everything. You name it.
Officials from this Golden Corral franchise release a statement regarding the melee, reading in part, "We notified the local authorities and they are investigating the incident. Thankfully, no serious injuries have been reported. The safety of our guests
Somebody
and our
going to jail over
coworkers
some
is
meat.
our top priority."
Over
And Rios
a piece of
admits
steak,
he is
bro.
amazed everyone
At
walked
Golden
away
Corral. Gee, that
unscathed.
shit ain't even.
Nobody was on the ground. Nobody got hurt. I
That shit ain't even grass
My brother
fed.
got a black eye. My brother got a lifted nail, and that was it.
What the
The
fuck?
investigation is ongoing. So far, no arrests. Any possible charges linked to this case would include simple assault and disorderly conduct. Reporting live from Ben Salem, Walter
Simple
Perez,
assault
Channel 6.
See what it was.
disorderly conduct.
I'll be damned.
See what it was is the nigga had been standing up there for that well done piece of meat for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I damn near don't blame him though.
15 minutes.
I feel the same way about
And then the
Golden
nigga
Corral
came
chicken,
and
man.
snatched it up.
You like Golden Corral chicken?
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Golden Corral chicken, man.
Oh, I fuck with Golden
everything else
Corral.
on the menu.
Hell
There's so
yeah.
much shit there. It's something that's gonna taste good.
I ain't gonna hold you, man. That meat be alright.
It's okay.
It's okay. It ain't like a Ken Stewart or no shit like that, or
Nah.
something good. Like, but I don't know, man. To just be scrapping over that shit, I probably would have just grabbed the chicken. Just give me
Yeah, fuck
give
it.
me
Go
that
ahead,
breast,
bro. You
nigga.
can have it, bro.
Yeah, you can have that shit. It ain't that serious, nigga. You getting all irate about this steak, my nigga. Go on, have that. You might need it more than I do, bro.
Yeah.
Cause this old fucking Sam's Club ass piece of meat.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Sam's Club
cut,
meat.
nigga. The real
Ain't
butcher
it-
ain't even smack that shit,
I
bro.
was gonna say, ain't the butcher, man, his ass part-time.
Hell yeah. That shit ran through a machine, nigga. They were chopping this. Hey man, but check this shit out though. This ain't funny, man, right here. I don't
A black man's prosthetic
think we
leg
can call
off
this funny, man.
during the arrest. It was glued to his body. Okay?
One nigga shit was glued.
Glued
Let's put
to
up a
his body.
picture of Mr. Waverly Lucas. Give you some background. During a wrongful arrest in New York, police violently removed a man's prosthetic leg that left him with injuries and severe emotional trauma.
Wow.
Here's how this went down. Mr. Lucas, a New York man with a prosthetic leg, is seeking millions in damages from the Suffolk County Police Department, saying he was wrongfully arrested and injured by officers. He also claims officers ripped off his leg and threw it in the trunk of the police cruiser. NBC New York reports.
Wow.
Waverly Lucas was heading into a store when police officers stopped him and accused him of public urination, demanding he show identification. When Lucas refused to provide his ID, the officers began to assault him. All right? The police
Look,
then
that's his
ripped
leg
off
in his
the
hand.
man's leg, prosthetic leg, to make him fit into the vehicle, and then threw it in the trunk of the police cruiser.
Bullshit.
To rip that off, it's like someone ripping off your skin, because it's like it's almost glued to my skin.
Right, it is.
A total of 4 police cars were called to the scene for a man who had one leg. Waverly says
Wow.
he is left with a fractured orbital bone, fractured eye socket, and a broken wrist from the incident.
So they beat his ass
The
too.
man was charged
Damn.
with possession of pills, a medication he is legally prescribed, by the way, to treat his leg condition. As he waits for the criminal case to be resolved, he's also waiting for his prosthetic leg to be returned. They kept it.
Wow.
These SOBs.
It's evidence.
Ms. Tucker.
Let him have it. Pay me.
I
Right.
just can't.
Yeah.
I can't with this
Cash
one.
it
It's
out.
look, if you too scary to be the police and you can't do your job, go ahead and find you something else to do. Because this is getting ridiculous. I think we probably need to come up with a committee, the police on Black people crime committee or something, because that's ridiculous. This is a handicapped man.
Yeah.
Okay. You are completely
Yeah, shit.
violating not only his personal rights, but his civil rights. And it's just ridiculous. For what? He has one leg and got 4 cop cars.
Right, and then the way they handle this, okay? All right, if you think someone has urinated publicly, right? You now
Write
want
them a
to
ticket.
arrest
That's
them,
what you do.
rip off their leg, and then charge them with a frivolous charge. But here's
It's
the thing.
piss.
You didn't charge him with what you said he did. You charged him with pills, okay? Now, loose pills, that's a felony, by the way. That's a felony charge, okay? The public urination is not, even if that was true. I don't think it was, but even if it was true, it's not even a felony. But they decided to charge him with something else. Now, here's the thing. Once again, there's a reality here to where law enforcement act more like slave patrol, where they want you to show them your freedom papers, right? Show them the reason why you should exist, okay? There's an issue in law enforcement, and that's why I tell people law enforcement does not need to be fixed because it's working the way it was designed to work. The industry of law enforcement needs to be broken so that we can remake it and have it be a reflection of the sentiment of the community today. Because law enforcement as we know it is still, by and large, a sentiment of the original design, which was slave patrol.
Right now, get $25 off per axle on standard brake service at
Firestone
Complete Auto
Pay
Care.
get that man his money, let him go on about his business. Cause see, all of that shit should get thrown out anyway. Cause if they stopped him and tried to arrest him for public peeing, and they found loose pills on him, why did y'all even search him from the get fucking go?
Facts. It should have.
Y'all shouldn't. Yeah, should have wrote him a ticket and said, man, don't be pissing out in the street.
Right. You could have just gave him. You could have smacked him with whatever you wanted to smack him with them pills, and that was it.
The pills shouldn't have even been found. They shouldn't have never went in his pocket.
Cause public urination. I mean, I don't know, man. We know what it is.
Man, they tried to do me like that before, dog.
For peeing
when I was a kid. When I was a kid.
Where?
Man, I was at like Acme or something with my mom and my aunt, dog. They had went inside. I'm like, man, I gotta pee. And I didn't even know where the bathroom was at in the store. So I'm like, I'm just about to run around to the back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all go back there, I'm peeing. Police come up and turn his lights on and everything like I'm committing a crime. Damn. Peeing on like behind the dumpster lightweight for real, but it was on the building. Yeah. But I was peeing on the building, so he tried to say, G ran in the store real quick because he was about to pee too. When he seen that shit, he ran in the store to go tell my mom.
Right.
My mom came out there like, what the fuck, nigga? I bet if my mom wouldn't have been there, he'd have been on some fuck shit.
Yeah,
he thought I was by myself. Yeah.
Thought you was just because you was at Acme #1.
No, this was out there at that one out there in Kenmore. Not Kenmore, but Kenmore. You know what I'm talking about.
East Ave?
Yeah, yep, on East Ave.
Yep.
It might not even have been Acme. What was that other store that was on East Ave? Grocery store. It used to be another grocery store on East Ave back in the day.
Down this way in Kenmore, right?
Other side. Yeah, on the other side of Acme.
The one they turned into the car lot, right?
Yeah, yep, that one.
Building. Yeah, I forgot the name.
Yeah, that's where it was.
Damn, that's
that's exactly where.
That's on the corner of Wilbur and East Avenue.
Yeah, I was a little. I said I was a little nigga.
You was dumb little. Y'all was little as hell. That's
crazy. For him to be fucking with me like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
He had me in the back. Like by the time my mom came out there, nigga, I was in the back of the car and everything.
God damn.
If the kid he probably would have put them bitches on me.
Damn. Yeah, see,
Accurate
cops always been on some bullshit. It just cops around this way where we at anyway. The Midwest, I know you dirty as Chi-Town.
Yeah.
In Chicago, nigga, we ain't even got to talk about that. How them cops? That's
they on some.
But right now they kind of laid back because they trying to like they going against the mayor, so they kind of laid back. They really ain't harassing a lot of motherfuckers, and plus we got that jump out law. They can't really just jump out and search you no more.
Oh, okay, that's what's
up. That's cool.
Now that's cool. Yeah. I wish we had that here because nigga, they don't give a fuck. They don't.
That's
shit. They do whatever. Yeah, they think you doing something. They gonna fuck with you.
I don't know if y'all heard a few months back these two young guys, they killed a female police officer, an on duty police officer. Well, that night the whole police force went to the hospital to support the lady. Mayor Lightfoot, our mayor, she came out and told everybody to get back on their shifts, and these people didn't budge. These officers didn't budge. They can't stand our mayor. The police force cannot stand our mayor.
Is that the what's her name? Is that the one with Is that the mayor with the with the hair? Is it the chick that look like a dude?
Yeah, that's her.
What's her name? Ain't she
Mayor?
cool?
No, Mayor Lord. No, she hooked up. She hooked up with the gangs. Like it's a lot going on with Mayor. Her name Lori Lightfoot. It's a lot going on.
Hey, the funniest shit is how she used to look before she became married.
Yeah,
That
that's the funniest shit.
She looked normal as hell. She looked like her ass supposed to be off Lord of the Rings now.
Man, fucked
She
up.
like a fucking hobbit or something.
she look like Philip Bailey. She look like Philip Bailey.
What's your
I fucking cried, dog.
What's your Facebook, Bucks?
+30 PLUSTHURTY.
All right, plus. Boom. Got you. So y'all, I know y'all was seeing this down here. I had to hit it, man, cause I had to hit this because I want to see this about. I know it's kind of like we bouncing around, but that's what the fuck we doing. We talking shit. That's what it's about. But I want to see this shit right here about Paul Mooney, man, and Pierre, because I've been watching Pierre stream a lot lately. And at first, I kind of thought it was...
Yeah, he seemed right away good. I've been fucking with that shit, too.
Yeah, at first, I was like, man, this shit kind of corny. It looked like it's about to be whack. But then I started watching it, and the shit he be talking about and the shit he be having his guests and the other celebrities that we know of come on and talk about be some real shit. So I want to...
Now, who y'all talking about now? I missed that. Who y'all talking about?
Paul Mooney.
Pierre.
Paul Mooney.
Oh, yeah.
Pierre,
oh, yeah.
Pierre, he getting ready to talk about Paul Mooney and shit. And I had seen this down here while we was watching that other one, man. And I just want to check it out because Pierre, I was telling Drib, man, I've been watching Pierre lately. I thought it was going to be whack, but then I tuned in and it was dope. Like the shit he was talking about, it was real dope.
Yeah.
Like it was fresh. It was better than I thought it was going to be. So shout out
Is
to
it
Pierre.
is it comedic? Is it comedic or is he more on a serious tip?
Both.
Yeah, but he be having comedians on there and shit,
Right.
like and asking them like real shit. Like he had dude, damn, what's my nigga's name? Damn, I can't think of dude's name. He funny as hell though. He was talking about how old girl from Saturday Night Live stole his joke and shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Damn, what's his name? K something, dog.
And shout out to my nigga Iceberg, man.
You ain't talking about the little chubby dude from Chicago, Keenan and Kel.
No, he said Leslie. And her name Leslie Brown. What's her name?
Leslie Jones.
The ugly
Jones.
one.
Yeah, Leslie Jones.
Yeah, Leslie Jones. Dude was saying that she stole his joke, and you know what I'm saying, motherfucker, like she more famous than him, so motherfuckers was thinking like she made the shit up, but like bitch, you stole that joke.
Right.
I was telling Pierre, he said the joke was, you ever been so broke a nigga hit you with a deal and you still couldn't cop? A nigga gave you a great deal, but you still can't do it.
Right.
That's crazy.
All right, so we're gonna check this shit out, man. Let's see what Pierre talking about Paul Mooney, man.
Yes, Panic Room, you know how we do.
K-Dub, that's the dude name.
We're gonna have fun this week too. It's funny. Normally this time I do my invitation where I invite a celebrity to come on to the show, but I cannot ignore the tremendous loss the comedy world has lost. Mr. Paul Mooney passed away, and you're hearing about it throughout the comedy world. But I want to tell you a little bit some personal experiences I had with Mr. Paul Mooney. I remember the first time I saw him was in 1987. He was opening up for Eddie Murphy on this, it's called Lord Have Mercy tour, but it wound up being the Raw tour for the Raw movie. And I remember hearing this guy was talking about white folks so bad. And I was like, who is this dude? I was shocked. I remember sitting up at this place called the Capitol Center in Maryland. I was sitting up at the top rafter looking down. I was like, who is this man that has the balls to talk like that? Like, this man is just talking about white folks like crazy. I never heard nobody talk about white people like that before. Fast forward a couple years later, I moved to California, and I was in a place called the Comedy Store, which is like the mecca of comedy in Hollywood. Everyone goes there. All the big shots comics have been there. You name it, Richard Pryor, you name it, Jay Leno, Dave Letterman, Eddie Murphy. Everyone been, Eddie Griffin, Martin Lawrence. We all been in. We all try to get in there, and I got in there, and I was a regular there. And how they do the shows, they have 3 rooms, and one of the rooms is called Original Room. They let each comic brings the next comic up, and you have maybe 20 comics. We all start about 8 o'clock. We do 15-minute increments, And I remember Paul Mooney would always go on last. A lady named Mitzi Shore, who owned the club, she let Paul Mooney go on last, and he can do it as long as he wanted to. And there was a reason why he went on last, because he would pretty much run that room full of white folks up out of there quickly. Within about 20 minutes of his act, white folks were popping up like toast because he kept it real. And I remember I used to get sometimes of a show, like say about 8:30, I would wait till midnight to watch him. Every time I saw his name on the calendar, on the schedule, I said, I'm gonna wait till midnight. And it was just such a joy to watch him, man, because as I felt he was saying things that so many people wanted to say but were afraid to say. I mean, trust me, there were a lot of people who wanted to talk trash, but they was afraid. And I look at Paul Mooney, and I remember becoming friends with him, and he would tease me about being half black, half white. I wasn't really black and shit like that. And I was like, come on, dude. And one time I started talking about my mother being white. He's like, oh, nigga, you just trying to fit in, nigga. You trying to tell me you got a white mother. Like, come on, Mooney. You got 2 light-skinned sons now. Come on now. Everybody ain't been dark in your family. You ain't been messing with either. So he just loved it. And I used to call him the cocaine of comedy. And he said, what does that mean? What does that mean, cocaine of comedy? I was like, nigga, everybody's doing it, but don't nobody want to mention it. He's like, I love that. And so many celebrities would come into the room and sit in the corner. The Eddie Murphys, the David Letterman. People would hide in the corner because they wanted to get the Paul Mooney feel. They were just afraid to be seen, supporting Paul Mooney. And I used to sit there and think, like, wow, man, I wanted to say some of those things. And I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have the courage as a young comic to say as much stuff that he said. And I was watching him, and I just watched him every night, and just like, he was like a relief to watch him perform and say the things he said that we all wanted to say but were afraid to say. And as I started working in the Comedy Store more and more. A year went by, 2 years. He started bringing me under his wing, talking to me, because he wasn't really a personable guy. Let's be real. People who know Paul Mooney, he was not personable. But once he got to know you and trusted you, he would open up and talk to you. I remember one time, because he's so pro-black on stage, white people this, white people this, white people this. And I remember one time we were in a hallway, and some tourists, white tourists, were talking to him. And I could see 2 black tourists like 5 feet away from him, waiting to take a picture or autograph or whatever it was they wanted from him. And Mooney kind of like saw him on the side of his eye and kept talking to those white folks and kept talking to those white folks and I'm sitting there thinking, nigga, don't you see these black people want to talk to you, man? And he kept on talking and talking. And finally, after about 15 minutes, the white people left, and then Paul Mooney looked over and said, yeah, well, how can I help you? And they're like, can we get a picture, an autograph? Oh, I'll take a picture or whatever. And when they walked away, I was like, nigga, you ain't shit. You saw them black people waiting for you. You tap dancing for them white folks. And he just loved the fact that I would say that to him. In fact, I even called him Paul Cooney at the time. I was like, man, you Paul Cooney, man, But I did it out of love and admiration for him. He was no coon, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Far from it.
I see some of these younger comics only got to him through the Dave Chappelle time. And I feel like, man, what you lost to know. You think he's just a Dave Chappelle comedian. Because he even told me he wasn't working a lot of major comedy clubs. He wasn't working at Improvs and Funny Bones and all those major comedy clubs. He had to do a lot of chitlin circuits for years. Now, I don't know if y'all know, some of y'all didn't know it. He wrote for Richard Pryor. You heard that. But think about that. He wrote for Richard Pryor. He gave Richard Pryor some jewels of jokes. And he was that open to give Richard that and not take it for himself. And I thought that was huge, because comics don't do that. They don't lend out no damn jokes hardly. Very seldom. They might give you a little tagline here and there, but they're not about to write you some jokes. This is not. It's a competitive sport, basically. But I remember knowing he did that. I was like, man, that is cool. That is dope as hell. And we became friends, and we saw each other for a lot of times. And like I said, I would watch him on tour all the time. Then one time he was at a comedy club in D.C., and I went to see him, and I was going to do a show in New York. And he had to go back to New York to pick up some CDs during the same day, because you can catch a train, go from D.C. to New York and come on back. He needed some DVDs or something like that. And he said, all right. I said, I'm going to New York to perform. He said, well, I'm leaving at Union Station at 11:30, whatever, train. I said, all right. He said, be there tomorrow. That's what I'm going to be on. So the next day, I got my stuff. I got on there. And you could pay first class or coach? And the guy said, which one? The $35 ticket or the $10 ticket? I'm thinking, well, I'm going first class because Paul Mooney is first class. I can go catch him up there. So I bought the $35 ticket. I'm walking around first class, looking around. First class, Paul Mooney in here. Ain't nobody black in this motherfucker. Ain't nobody black. I'm looking at it, and the waiter and there's a bartender. They said, yeah, all the comedians are on stage. All the comedians are here. I said, yeah, who else is on here? He said, oh, the guy Paul Mooney. He's in. I said, where's he at? He said, he's in the back. Nigga, you ain't coach. I done paid $35 for fucking one way, and you ain't coach, buddy. But we sat down and talked. And he told me so many stories, man. I don't think y'all know the jewels that he was telling me and dropping me on that trip for so many, like a 5-hour train ride or whatever it was, 3-hour, 4-hour train ride. And the jewels we had, man, that we sat and talked, and talked. And I felt like a kid in a candy store, man. This is a legend, man. I don't know if people realize what a legend and what he sacrificed, man. I was sitting there thinking, man, you talking to me on a train for 3.5 hours? I cherished it. I wrote it in my book. I wrote about it in my book. We get to New York, we get off the train, and he just went, he went his way, I went my way. And I remember I was trying to get into the place called the Caroline's Comedy Club. It was a popular comedy club in Manhattan. I was trying to get on it. I was like, Paul, I'm trying to get on it. I'm trying to get in there. Cause I was doing the Chitlin circuit, little rooms. And he said, oh, let me see what I can do for you. And within about a week later, man, I got a call from the club, and they wanted to book me. I was like, what? And I thanked him, because I remember I wasn't a big comic at this time. I was still small and wasn't really known that well, but through the comedy store circuit. And he did that for me. And I've always cherished it. Whenever he came in town, I would sit there, and I'd come to any comedy show he was at. I would come and sit in the back and talk to him. And a lot of times, I felt like a little gnat to him. He's like, boy, you here again? What do you want from me now? What do you want? But I didn't care. I just wanted to be in his space, man. I just wanted to be in Paul Mooney's space. I wrote a book. He even did the forward. Wrote about it. He even talked about me bad in the forward. Like, oh, this nigga's an opportunist. This nigga always wants some shit from somebody. I didn't give a damn what he said about me. I wanted to be in Paul Mooney's space. I don't think some of y'all understand. Comics who've been around do understand what he did for black comics. I consider him the black news of comedy. He gave us news. Now, there are people who love Richard Pryor. I tell everybody, Paul Mooney's my favorite stand-up comic in the world. Paul Mooney. I like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, all of them, but Paul Mooney was my ultimate favorite comedian. And then one of the reasons was because of his sacrifice of what he's talked about, and he gave you the news. See, Richard Pryor would tell you funny stories, which was great, about the red bone and all this kind of stuff, but Paul Mooney would tell you what's happening now, the problem we're going through now. And he stayed there, and I say, he laid on that shield, that shield, man, on that sword that people...
Yeah, Paul Mooney, man. Big ups to Paul Mooney, man.
I knew Paul Mooney was fire when I seen Bamboozled. That solidified it for me.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. Watch this shit. Here it go, though, Dribble. You wanted to see what exactly happened?
Yeah.
Just after the lineup. Look. Don't touch me. Touch me, dog.
Well, he thought about it. You see that? He thought about it.
Yeah, I seen it.
It was too late.
Watch the smack though.
Oh yeah. He ain't even hit the guy.
Right, he hit the assistant. He smacked the
assistant. Look, the coach ain't even got in it. He way back. Look, he way back.
Of course. Look, them niggas from Detroit, boy. Stop playing. I forgot where Michigan was at. They gonna scrap.
Wasn't that Detroit with that fight with World Metal Peace?
You damn right. Malice in the Palace.
Malice in the Palace. They tore that motherfucker down. You know that? That's crazy.
Yeah, that bitch gone. Look, how they trying to blame Juwan Howard though, and you clearly see where the nigga grabs him. Watch, if they show, I think they finna show it back. You clearly see where he grabs that nigga arm, bro. Like, don't touch me, dog.
He did.
Just because I don't want to shake your hand, don't touch me.
And that is when he went to shake guard's hand that everything exploded.
Watch. Look. Nah, nigga, don't reach that. Nah, look.
Nah, Juwan's wrong. He
see
wrong.
How he grabbed him and he just.
He wrong though.
Nah, nigga,
wrong.
What you mean?
That's the first part of playing organized sports, man. It's sportsmanship.
Unless he called him a nigger, that's the only way I
Exactly. There you go.
You better have called him a monkey.
There you go. Hey, he better go with that. He better go with that. He better say, man, the man stopped me and said, nigga, you ain't gonna shake my hand. Hey, he better go with that.
He said you dirty.
Because if he ain't say nothing like that, he dead wrong.
Yeah, he did wrong. He wrong all the way.
Racist shit, he dead ass wrong.
Oh, did you see
He
the
probably
move
was
right
like,
there
what
in
are
the
you?
middle? Look at the smack.
He smacked him. That ain't even a good smack, man. He
That's
like,
what I said. Look at this. He rubbed him. He rubbed his head.
yeah, he rubbed him, man. What the fuck, Jawad?
He probably was like, what, you're not because you're not at the All-Star game, you fucking monkey?
Yeah, they suspended him for the rest of the season and they fined him $40,000.
Rest of the season, $40,000. Do the punishment fit the crime? What y'all think, man?
Definitely.
That 40,000, yeah, that 40,000 gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since
him missing the rest of the season might hurt the team too.
Hold on though, it might not hurt him because that's Juwan Howard.
Yeah, he
that
got
ain't
money.
Just no regular coach. You know
he
what
got
I'm saying?
money.
So it might not even hurt him.
No, you nigga, you ain't don't nobody want to give up no 40 bands just cause.
Yeah. Hey, fuck that. We walking out right now, boom. And it could have
They
been.
Probably would have. They probably would have all got fined then.
But shit,
for real?
What did you do to find the college player though?
I don't know. Something would have happened.
Probably suspended them for a game or something like that.
Or forfeit their next game or some shit like that.
That's gonna fuck them up getting into the damn what's the name, the Sweet 16 and shit.
They shouldn't be at fault though if that's what the coach told them to do.
I don't know, man. I got two more stories, man. Check this shit out. I got this shit right here, man. I know y'all know about this Russia and Ukraine shit. We're gonna check this right out. We're gonna check.
Yeah, that shit going crazy. That shit going.
This girl went viral, man. Explaining
my credit score was 500.
Explained it like perfect or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I just got this one from our production team. I just got this little video here. So let's get
tension on the world stage between. Welcome back to the World Tonight. We've been following for you the tension on the world stage between Russia and Ukraine.
And I heard they sent the troops
complicated,
in too.
Sometimes
yep,
hard
they
to
did.
Follow. Mm-hmm. But TikTok influencer I Am Legally Hype breaks it down and what may be just the best explainer out there. Take a listen.
Okay, so boom. We was mad at Big
This
P for being cool with
same
Big
chick,
P,
ain't it?
But Big Bang P just linked up with China, and if I'm not mistaken, Big Bang P is one of the
men
richest in the world.
It's the same chick.
Everybody and their mama owe China some money, so we might have an issue. But this what happened. Big Bang P was looking at Ukraine, and he like, I like that territory. It's like real close to Russia, and I feel like it belongs to us, so I'm finna come get it. So he didn't move his military close to the border, and he letting them know like, I'm finna come get it, like. Just letting y'all know, right? And so Ukraine is like, we don't know what he's gonna do. So they got their military out there teaching their citizens how to do Taibo just in case they gotta defend themselves. But you know, Big Bang P,
she explained that shit perfectly.
And if he do bust a grape, guess what? America gonna come over here and help us. But my whole thing is like, I don't know if y'all forgot what happened in Afghanistan, but we was over there for over 20 years and nobody understood the assignment. So personally, I just would not put all my eggs in the American basket. I done seen the type of people that are American military employed, and no disrespect, but y'all need to go to them continuation schools in the hood and go get you some real shooters. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cheeto.
Cheeto. He done hopped in, right? So Big Daddy Biden, he done hopped into the mix, and he like, look, P, stop playing with me. I know you're trying to be funny because America over here arguing about abortion rights and affirmative action during Black History Month, but I ain't got time for this right now. So if you pull up over there, it's gonna be some smoke, and you're gonna get sanctions. I'm sending you a whole receipt. Like, you're gonna have to pay this bill. And P is like, bruh, let me tell you something. By the look of the inflation in America, and y'all,
who is P? Putin.
Y'all got over there, y'all need this money. So go ahead and send me the bill, bruh. I'll pay it in cash. And so at this point, it's out of our hands.
Right. Facts. Big facts.
Yeah, she broke it down.
Right, all about the receipts.
She broke it down.
Avery Burns Tucker joins us live tomorrow night right here in the World Tonight to talk about how and why.
With Dora the Explorer. She like Dora, don't she?
Oh, they had her on that show?
What? Her? No, they just was
played that video.
Huh?
They played that video on that show.
Yeah, they played her TikTok video on the news on the news show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was super viral. She lit right now.
Yeah, she need to be a reporter for real. But
Yeah,
that's
for us.
exactly how the shit be happening, dog. Like, it all be that simple like that. And these motherfuckers really be giving land and shit away to motherfuckers and just try to take over land like it's like barbarian times. Been doing that shit for years.
For years. Like she said, we've been over there 20 years already. Claiming state.
Yeah,
We've been over
that
there
shit
20 years.
happened. And you know why? Because them motherfuckers just stole them motherfuckers who live in Afghanistan's land and try to give it to Jewish people.
Facts. Facts. But I'm gonna be honest now. They
don't break it down like that though.
Big Daddy Biden don't want he don't want, like she said, he don't want that smoke over there, man. Don't pull up.
America don't want smoke with nobody.
Nobody.
Trust me. They got all this shit.
Especially Russia, bro.
Yeah, they got all this shit, but just like she said, I see the motherfuckers y'all be enlisted, them ain't no shooters. For real, dog. Them motherfuckers ain't on it.
No.
How many motherfuckers really fucking
decades?
Man, dog, some of the motherfuckers really love this shit and to die for this shit like that. But how many, they don't even know what they over there for?
Yeah, some of them are just over there to fight because they gonna pick up their gun. Because they think it's a way. They think it's like a way for them to be able to legally shoot and kill motherfuckers and shit like this. It's sad, bro. Some of these motherfuckers mentality.
Them other motherfuckers fighting, they love their country. They willing to do whatever.
Nigga, they strap bombs to their chest, nigga. And
yeah, they do it all.
Spaghetti for their shit, nigga.
Yeah, they do.
Fuck that.
It's better than our country. Our country, they sending us over there for low pay, and then we come home and we still broke, and we die at war, and they not taking care of the families. You got to go to some foundation in order for the families to get some kind of money. It's fucked up.
America.
Them people over there taking care of their people, man. You jump out this plane with a bomb on your back, your family gonna be straight.
That's a damn shame, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And here we is fighting, losing legs, catching diseases and all kind of shit, man, and come home to have to sit up in the VA every fucking 2 weeks.
Be on the corner with a sign talking about I'm a veteran. Please help.
Please help.
That shit be crazy.
Still walk around with his badges and stripes and shit on.
Now let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, bro. That's funny, man. And I honestly, being a vet myself, man, I really can't say. I'm halfway with that shit, man, because it's so many motherfucking programs that the VA will provide for you if you is a veteran, man. So
yeah, but look at the red tape. Look at the red tape you got to go through to even apply and be part of their program. You homeless and everything. You homeless and everything. You ain't even got an address. Like
it is when you have no address.
Let me tell you,
right?
They got places where they send you. I'm gonna tell you why. Let me just tell you this. And this is what I found out because I've been, with Dad's Matter and shit, we do research and shit, and we be checking this shit out. Because when you go to these programs like the VA, like for instance, when I was in California, Loma Linda has a spot. If you are homeless and you a veteran, you can go to that spot. They'll give you a dorm room. You get that shit for like 30 days. And they got programs to help you get a job, help you get shit. They got programs. Now, the key to that is when you in there and you stand in them dorms and you stand in that spot, you can't do no drugs, you can't do no alcohol, you can't do none of no pills, you can't do none of that shit. You got to be all straight, sober, like you got to be wanting to do that shit for yourself. So this is why I say I be half and half with that shit, because I know firsthand that these programs is out there. Now, if you're going to do what it take to go through them, you're going to put that fucking bottle down, or you're going to stop popping them pills and shit, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the fuck you out there doing, you're going to do that and get through this program so you can get you some motherfucking roof over your head and some, some wheels up under your feet or whatever, then that's cool, it's there for you. But if you don't want to adhere to these specific guidelines, then it's not gonna pop for you. Cause you're gonna be sitting up there talking about you don't want to do it, or you're gonna come in that motherfucker smelling drunk, they gonna kick your ass out, and then you're gonna be homeless for real. So sometimes I don't know every case. I don't know every case, but I know a lot of that shit out there.
A lot of them motherfuckers be having PTSD though.
Yeah, and they need that kind of help instead.
It's there for you. It's there for them.
They gotta have that. They need to be more lenient on that type of shit.
Yeah,
it's there for them. Trust me, it's there for you.
It is. You're right. It's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of programs like that. But like you say, but to try to stay on a straight and arrow, and here you got PTSD. You done seen a lot. That's hard, man. That's hard.
I understand that, and I definitely understand that. But I don't know. I just think that you can get through the things that you want to get through if you want to get through them.
You can. You just gotta apply. That's it.
There's certain things that in life are sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? That you got to make for certain things, and if you're not willing to take them sacrifices and make those sacrifices, even for a short period of time, you know what I'm saying, then you might not be able to achieve them goals or them things that you're trying to reach because you're not willing to let go of that sacrifice or
That's
let
a
go of
fact.
that thing. So I don't know. I want motherfuckers to get the help. I know it's out there. I wish you could help everybody else, but
It's out there.
everybody. But you gotta want to help yourself first. Period.
Yeah.
Like that's the number one thing. So I do. Every now and then I toss a buck to them niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you know me, you know that ain't my deal.
Yeah, that's how I be.
Slide past them niggas, man, on the regular. Like
that's exactly what I be on. But I'm just saying, it shouldn't be nobody who went out there and killed the nigga for this motherfucker who shouldn't be set for life. Is all I'm saying.
That's a fact.
But you can be because they give you bread. You 50% if you got PTSD automatically.
Yeah.
So I mean, even somebody with PTSD can
if I didn't kill somebody for you, you need to have me covered, and I don't give a fuck what type of drug I'm on.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Hey, because you know what them 70s and shit was like. They was giving heroin to them niggas out there back then.
Yeah, they was coming home. They was coming home heroin. They was giving it to them.
Opium, all that shit.
They was giving it to them.
Them motherfuckers was getting merch too.
Yeah.
Yep.
You like how many of them just seen they main niggas stressed out?
Shit, crazy. All of them.
Who they thought they was gonna go home with.
That's a fact.
It's a clip right now, man. I wish I could find that shit real fast, but it's a clip. I ain't even gonna try because it's so far down the rabbit hole. It's on TikTok of this old man talking about the war, and he was talking about how the niggas was throwing grenades at him up in Vietnam, like they was throwing grenades at him because he was like, "Granddad, you think about the war?" And he was like, "Granddad was like, I think about the war every day." He was like, especially about them motherfuckers who was throwing grenades at us, but when we got close, they tried to surrender. He said they tried to give up and surrender. And he was like, shit, I blowed his head off.
Hell yeah. It was too late to surrender.
Yeah, because it's too, he said they was over there chucking
throw rocks and hide your hands. Yeah, you crazy.
He said the only reason why the grenades wouldn't hit him, he said, because they was so stupid that they was in the bog. So the grenades was flying over and they was falling in the water. So all the shrapnel was in the water. It wasn't exploding and going upwards like it's supposed to be on dry land. They was in the bog like this fucking deep in your ankles. You know what I'm saying? You know how them niggas tell them story? They was walking through the shit that's the rice field, what they call it. The rice field, the bog, the motherfuckers deep. You know what I'm saying? With all that grenade going there, ain't nothing coming up with water.
That's
you know
it.
A couple little pieces or whatever. So he said they was fucking up, but it was an ambush. It was like an ambush or some shit. But when they found out that, he said niggas try to surrender and all that shit, and he was like, ain't no mercy. The nigga was like, it ain't no mercy at this point, like, and that's kind of like a fact. So I feel you, man. When motherfuckers go through shit like that's some shit to have to go through in your life, period. To do that and to know that you're not doing that for yourself, you're doing that for a country.
And then, like our old girl said, them motherfuckers ain't no real shooters. You gotta not give a fuck going in there. Them motherfuckers,
man, niggas was
they definitely care about everything.
Yep.
They trying to go home. You know, there's motherfuckers who they can send out there who don't even care if they come home or not.
No, they call them career veterans. Them people gonna be in the service for the rest of their life.
Yep. They
But I'm
go to
saying
20 and be
you
like, fuck
probably
it, I'm
could go to
staying in.
jail. You probably could go to a jail and recruit crazy motherfuckers who will be on it. Just so they be like that.
You know who they need to take? They need to take all them white
They don't even do that.
nationalists. All them what's the new name for the white Nazi motherfuckers? The political Nazis?
Oh, nationalists.
Yeah, that's it. Nationalists. They need to take them. All them motherfuckers, they want to fight so hard, they want to stand up. Go ahead, go kill these motherfuckers for them.
Yeah,
go
them
the
ones.
To Russia. Go and take them to Russia.
Yeah.
Let them fight for us.
But shit, nigga, I'm a nationalist, and I feel them motherfuckers for real. Like when we get into that national shit. No, I don't feel the white people, but I'm a black nationalist. We don't have to be integrating with them motherfuckers at all. Like, that's what fuckers up in the first place. That's what they be on. Like, we don't want to have nothing to do with no niggas. That's how we need to be. We don't want to have nothing to do with no white people because when we did, we got fucked up.
And you know what happened too when we tried to do that.
Yeah, that fucking what you call it? The Martin Luther King shit, the desegregation.
And Black Panther Party, how they destroyed that. Because Black Panther Party, that's what they was about. That's what they was about.
Black people was doing better black people was doing better during segregation.
Much better.
And all type of and everything.
That's the same way with the shit in Chicago now. But see, we had like 30 blocks, this one block, 30 blocks full of just projects with all niggas stacked on top of niggas. When they tore them projects down and start desegregating us and moving us around and putting us out in these different suburbs and mixing us up with these white folks, the city went crazy, and we ain't looked back yet. The city went crazy.
Right.
We was doing better. We was doing better with
and that's in our era. That's
our era. Yeah. The builders, the project builders was probably the best thing for blacks being united. That was probably the best thing. Because now it's just they all over the place. They tearing the suburbs up. They gave them subsidized houses.
When they did that shit.
Yeah, trying to get close to downtown, and it got worse.
So what did they do to the project? What did they do to the projects that they tore down?
They tore them down, and then they put up some. A lot of people had an opt to move back in once they tore them down and built up some new places, because that's all they did was just built up some glorified projects, and then they mixed them up with condominiums and stuff like that down there,
and brung the high price shit in there, like it starts selling for hundred thousands and shit like that.
Yeah, and then it mixed in with low income. Because the niggas stayed right next door to this $100,000 condominium.
Wow.
You know they built a gang of parking decks too. I know.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, man, we got to get you on just to talk about Chi-Town period and their history. Chi-Town history rich as fuck, man.
Man, I got 50 years of history with Chicago shit.
Man, that shit is crazy. I never knew that they just did that shit. So that's basically like what Cabrini Green and all that kind of shit. Because I done looked up a little bit of stuff about all that. So when they knocked that down, them was the same. Some of the places where they built the condominiums up. And mixed them in with right next door. They had subsidized housing, basically AMHA or CMA.
Yes. And they did the reason that they said they did all of this is because all of those projects, Cabrini Greens is literally blocks away from the Gold Coast area, like literally blocks away. And when the projects was up, those people, the project people didn't go to the Gold Coast tearing shit up.
Right.
They ain't want to go to jail. Them people on the south side, that's 10 minutes away from downtown. They wasn't going downtown tearing shit up because they didn't want to go to jail. Now that they done desegregated and moved everybody around, you got shootings downtown in the Gold Coast, bro. This the richest part of Chicago.
That's where Duck got killed.
Duck. Yeah, that's where Duck got killed.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so Chicago a gangster city anyway. Like them white motherfuckers.
Man,
them white motherfuckers started that shit. It ain't like it's the black people that started it.
No, it's the Italians and the Irish. Yeah.
Yeah, niggas had to adapt to that lifestyle.
And so that's when they got that's when you get the GDs and the BDs and all.
We was all put up in these projects, bro. We wasn't coming up out of them for years. For years, I never left 35th Street. For years, I was a grown person before I left 35th Street.
Damn.
Yeah, for years, man. We never left 35th. We never left the projects.
And you can get anything you need down there.
Anything you need, man. We had the best food. We had the best clothing stores. We can get anything we need. We had theaters. We had everything in the neighborhood.
And there was a lot of black-owned businesses too, wasn't it?
Yeah, a whole lot of black-owned businesses. Now they can't even afford to keep their businesses up because the property taxes and shit that went up so high.
Gentrification.
Yeah, bro.
That's what they trying to do here with that Amazon. But they did us bad cause here when they tore Wooster, when they shut Wooster and Howard down. Wooster and Howard was booming on the black business side.
Ooh, oh yeah, that's crazy.
And think about it. If you look at every major city, everybody got a Chinatown. Everybody got a little village like where all the Mexicans stay. Everybody got every nationality got their own little neighborhood, except black. We don't even have a business district or nothing. We don't have nothing. All we had was the projects.
That was the black town.
That was exactly. That was the black town.
And they done got rid of that.
Yeah, and now in Chinatown, did y'all see what here in Chicago just a couple months ago where some guys rolled through there and killed like an 80-year-old Chinese man for nothing? It's a video footage of him doing this shit.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Before we wouldn't dare walk in Chinatown, and it's right across the bridge from the projects, bro. Right across the bridge.
Chinese food, that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's it, man. No, we had our own Chinese food, man.
Y'all had one over there.
Yeah. We had plenty of them, man. We had plenty of them. If we ain't had none, we had Chinese food, and they had the motherfucking nail salons and beauty supplies, man.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit wild, man.
Now it's fucked up everywhere. Like you can't go nowhere. These kids don't even hang out on the block no more. They just ride around. That's all they do.
Looking for shit to kill, huh? To drink.
Yeah. Don't go to no parties. Don't go to no party. It's definitely gonna be a shooting. And I don't even know why. I don't even know why. I don't even know why niggas shooting at each other like this, man. I don't know why.
Man, that's a whole nother motherfucking can of worms, man.
It is, bro.
Time to go big.
Look at this nigga, man. I don't know why.
Short answers to long, horrific questions about the stain of slavery.
That's my man, though. That's my man, though.
The inequality problem.
He getting old, man.
We need to
he been old,
focus
man.
on wealth creation
he still got that
and
crop,
wealth
though.
generation.
Shit ain't dropped.
And to do that, we must bring the descendants of slaves.
This is my man here, though.
Into equality with this nation. And that's what I proposed in this $14 trillion proposal.
Oh, yeah, this is supposed to be just in or something.
Provide reparations, not only for the sin or the atonement of the sin of slavery and Jim Crowism and desegregation, both de facto and de jure, but to cause America to live up to the concept and the notion that this nation was born on the idea of American exceptionalism. And if we take that big leap, I am convinced that the problems that we confront today can be solved, but it takes a big, bold action, and $14 trillion in reparation for damages visited upon the heirs of slaves is an appropriate statement.
All right, so I went there just to go here.
The Self-Credit Builder account is an installment loan that enables people to build positive payment history.
Decades of Jim Crow, housing discrimination, and other forms of systemic racism. All of that has
They
led
getting
to
ready to push
this,
this to
a
where
shocking wealth gap between black and white households in the United States. An average gap of $850,000 that, some experts believe, can be solved by something long overdue: reparations to the descendants of enslaved black people. But how do we even determine who's eligible for reparations?
Right.
Can the struggle for
Right.
reparations in other parts
Who
of the world
eligible?
teach us anything about what needs to be done in the U.S.?
HR 40. It's called HR 40.
You can go to college for free.
Is a good idea. And
And I think they're using what academics would call the theory of distance.
And them
to have contemporary application.
Right.
So it's easy to see why Congress has yet to pass H.R. 40,
Right.
a bill that was proposed all the way back in 1989. It would set up a commission to study and consider a national
they're just gonna make
apology
it
and proposal
like
for
a general
reparations for
assistance
the
type
institution
thing.
of
Watch.
slavery and its subsequent racial and economic discrimination against African Americans. And while you cannot place a monetary value on slavery and its lasting effects, there's a precedent of reparations programs compensating victimized communities directly. Back in the US, the Civil Liberties Act of 1988 designated $20,000 payments to Japanese Americans who survived internment camps during World War II.
The U.S. government has
So like
also
you were
made
saying,
payments
Bucks,
in instances where
certain
it was
ones,
not
like
the
they just saying
culpable
they
party.
only
Payments
gave
made to
Japanese
families
people
that lost
the
loved
bread that
ones
survived the
during the course
camps.
of the 9/11 attack.
Yeah,
certain
see,
times. Like they didn't give it to
most-
everybody.
Are being made to
Most of us wouldn't
individuals
qualify,
who were
and
held
then
hostage
so far down the line.
at the end
Yeah.
of the Carter presidency.
Up to $4.4 million per hostage or their estates. In the case of slavery, the U.S. government did promise reparations. It's
They
just
think they
reneged
slick,
on it. In fact, when the U.S. finally issued an apology for slavery, it included the disclaimer, "Nothing in this resolution authorizes or supports any claim against the United States or serves as a settlement of any claim against the United States."
And then again, they got to
Nor
be
did the
careful
US
too
ever
with
provide
this. They
true
got to be careful because if
reparations, a process
they give
consisting
certain
of three
people
things:
reparations,
acknowledgement,
then that means
redress,
that
and
a
closure
lot
for
of
grievous
people
injustices.
that's in jail cases get thrown out and shit like that. It's gonna be a whole lot of shit. They got to be careful with
The
this.
justification for the redress plan that followed.
Like, don't you know how they made weed legal, and then a lot of people that was locked up and doing time in jail, they got paid and shit like that. It's gonna be some kind of loophole like that. Like,
the requirements are a little more
yeah.
strict. First, black Americans would have to have identified as black.
It's a lot.
Negro,
It's a lot. That's why it's
African
gonna be a
or
while for this
Afro-American
shit going
for at
into
least
effect.
12 years before any reparations plan goes into effect.
Look,
And
see?
they have to prove that they had at least one ancestor who was enslaved in the United
See?
States. One way to do that is using the census. If your ancestor was present in the 1870 census and was old enough to have been alive in 1850 or 1860, but you can't find that person in the 1850 or 1860 census,
That would suggest that they were probably enslaved.
that's because before slavery was abolished with the 13th Amendment, enslaved people were not counted in the census.
They're actually missing people from the 1850 and 1860 census, and their absence there is a potential indicator that they were probably enslaved.
But while Darity's plan has received traction, it still faces opposition.
The impression down here is that Caribbean people who live in the United States, black people, would not be entitled to any reparation paid by the US government. But we are saying that's not right. We are saying that's divisive of the black population in the United States. We are saying that Caribbean immigrants have been harmed by that system through racial profiling, discrimination.
See, the black population in the US is pretty diverse. Most black people are foundational black Americans, meaning they're American descendants of enslaved people. Others are immigrants or the children of immigrants who came to the United States from mostly African and Caribbean countries. Those individuals
wouldn't
may
qualify.
have ancestors who were enslaved, but wouldn't be considered eligible recipients for reparations in the United
No,
States.
how?
Descendants of the enslaved have a claim
You just
that's
said that
linked
shit.
directly to the failure
Yeah.
to provide their ancestors with the promised 40-acre land grants. And that's uniquely a debt that is owed to the individuals who were enslaved and it was not met, and to their descendants. The second reason that's somewhat related is the fact that the current or existing racial wealth gap in the United States is a consequence of policies that have been pursued by the federal government that built white wealth to the detriment of black wealth.
A major policy Darity is referring to is the Homestead Act of 1862, or H.R. 125, legislation to, quote, secure homesteads to actual settlers of public domain. The policy incentivized citizens to move onto and settle land that had been violently stolen from indigenous nations. It provided 160-acre land grants to over 1 million white families for a small fee, but excluded the 4 million formerly enslaved people from the program who had already been denied the 40-acre land grants they'd been promised. Through the act, 270 million acres of land was settled across 30 states over 124 years. Yeah. Remember, owning land generates income, and passing land down to the next generation builds wealth. So the consequences of that decision are seen today. Approximately 45 million living white Americans have benefited from this massive asset-building legislation.
I would argue that virtually all black people throughout the diaspora, the African diaspora, have a claim for reparations. But they don't all have a claim for reparations from the United States government.
The horrors of slavery and its consequences are not uniquely American. The transatlantic slave trade transported approximately 12.5 million enslaved Africans across the Americas. The overwhelming majority of enslaved Africans were shipped directly to Latin America and the Caribbean. Spain and Britain shipped around 1 million enslaved Africans just to Jamaica. By 1833, slavery was abolished throughout the British Empire. But instead of compensating formerly enslaved people, Britain provided reasonable compensation to slave owners through a then £20 million loan, which British taxpayers fully repaid in 2015.
Okay, I might be eligible for
According to one estimate, that's worth over 20 billion British pounds today. For decades, descendants of enslaved people have been fighting for reparations in these regions. And in 2013, several Caribbean countries united to form the CARICOM Reparations Commission, which developed a strategy for reparations that focuses on reparatory justice.
The 10-point plan begins with the demand for an apology,
which is followed by calls for repatriation, an Indigenous Peoples Development Program, eradicating illiteracy, and debt cancellation.
I never tried it.
CARICOM has sent letters requesting reparations from countries like Spain, France, Britain, and the Netherlands.
The response was negative, for the most part, and no country admitted to the wrong, no country took responsibility, no country apologized, no country committed to repair.
Today, we're still living with the legacies of colonialism and enslavement that have left black populations across the globe at a disadvantage.
There is definitely a case that can be made that there has been a global pattern of exploitation of people of African descent.
We're here to demand what's owed to us from the United States government.
And despite incremental progress and different approaches to reparations programs, people across the Americas continue to fight for redress.
Right now, this is a contentious issue. It's affecting relationships, world relationships, global relationships, country versus country disputes exist. I think reparatory justice will help the society to heal itself. Both people of African descent, African people, and European people. I think it will be good and beneficial to all of us.
When do we
want it? Now! What do we want? Reparations! When do we want it? Now!
Oh, maybe I'll put it in the lobby.
I think so. Hold on. You might have. Let me see.
Manage your business and money all in one place with Shopify Balance. Easier, faster, more rewarding.
You ain't tagged me on the book neither.
Yeah, I did.
I don't see it.
April will mark 1 year since a House committee approved legislation that would study slavery reparations for Black Americans. H.R. 40 would create a panel that would examine lasting effects of slavery and discrimination in the U.S. The committee would also be tasked with recommending ways to make amends. That includes paying reparations to the descendants of people who were enslaved. But the bill has yet to be brought forth for a full vote in
I'm gonna tag you in this other one too.
of Texas is the
It's about the same shit, kind of. But see, then too, like they never.
First of all, thank you for joining us. Welcome.
They'll never. They'll never. That's just to throw you off. That's just. I think that part was they put it on there just to make a nigga look.
Only people who can prove that they are descendants of enslaved.
That's not even what it's about.
Back in history, I mean, discriminatory policies from Jim Crow to redlining aren't really
crazy. All right, let's check this out.
Now stop. Have you ever wondered why a race of people call themselves black, aka Negro? Well, out of the many reasons, here's one. Your history books failed to tell you. George Washington, chairman of the Continental Congress of 1774, is documented saying, if we would agree to take the fezes and turbans off the Moors' head and remove the sandals from their feet and enforce it with severe punishment, and also swear a death oath between ourselves to religiously and faithfully not allow anyone to teach the Moorish children whom they really are, or whom their forefathers were, and only allow the Moorish children to be taught that they were truly Negroes, black people and colored folks. George Washington stated that 200 years from today, Moorish people would not know their nationality, nor land or ancestors they descended from. And to make sure this was instilled, there was many laws in place like this one right here. And that's why we're the only race of people who classifies as a misnomer.
See, they don't want us to know that misnomer shit. Right. Not misnomer shit, but they don't want us to. They just want us to think we black. They don't want us to think we the Aboriginal people. Right. If you see how they did Australia, like what you think about when you think about Australia, Crocodile Dundee. It wasn't nothing but niggas over there like 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
In Australia?
Yeah, it was like a baby Africa.
Damn, I never knew that. I gotta check that shit out. There we go. Nah, nigga never accepted my damn request. Ain't that some shit?
I did. I just did.
Yeah. That's crazy. But yeah, man, that's that shit wild, man. I think that's a whole nother kind of worms. We gonna have to have a real, especially when this nigga Bird get back, when Iceberg get back, man, we're gonna have to have
I tagged you in this other shit too, cuz.
Let me see.
I tagged you in this one. Go look on there. On Facebook. But then too, they don't want us to, like they got us still thinking like, you know, we were just over here picking cotton. They don't want us to know that they owe us
civilization in the United States. Right. This is Monk's Mound, found in Collinsville, Illinois. Its base is about the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza, and it is many times larger than the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico. If we look at a map of the Mississippi River, we can see many cities named after mounds and many cities named after Egyptian cities like Cairo in Illinois and Memphis in Tennessee. There are mounds absolutely everywhere along the Mississippi River, going all the way down to Mexico. Back in the 1800s, there was also rumors of an Egyptian find in the Grand Canyon. There was official newspaper articles that said they found gold artifacts and mummies. The mound builders of the Mississippi also created mummies from their dead. Where did they learn this practice that seems so Egyptian? Why did they build pyramids, and why are there so many cities named after Egyptian cities next to these mounds along the Mississippi River?
Yep, that's a fact. Hell no.
Cause we didn't conquer this whole entire planet millions of years before they knew what a Columbus or whatever that, all that weird shit they done taught us in school. Like we always was here, everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. We was building this motherfucker. That's what we was doing.
Google the picture of what the Pilgrims' first Indians look like. What they seen. they gonna look like they from Africa, dog.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You said with the first pilgrims.
Yeah, the Indians, the first pilgrims saw images, and go to the images.
Look. You get down this way, they get to see this shit.
Yeah.
They get to seeing this, but they don't want to. Let me see the real. Let me see.
It ain't no. It's paintings.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
you
was
see,
gonna say.
how the black and white ones. Them black and white ones was real color. They just got them black and white, so you can't tell.
Yeah.
Cause all them ones is black and white. You gonna be able to find the exact other opposite picture that's in color.
Yep.
This shit right here. You probably even got to go deeper, deep down too.
I'm trying to see if I see anything that look familiar.
And them real pictures, those just reenactments and shit.
Right, fake as fuck.
Yeah.
And all the Indians we know today is all mixed.
Yeah, they all fucked up.
You know what I'm saying? Cause that's the first thing they do when they blow down somewhere. They get to fucking on everything to make them more lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They know what they doing.
But still need their genius and their craft. That's all they doing.
Yeah. Hey, it's a movie about that shit about Australia called Rabbit Proof Fence. Check that shit out. It show you how they changed how everybody looked in the matter of like 200 years. How they lightened everybody up. Like they had concentration camps where they were just fucking motherfuckers, making them have lighter babies.
Hell nah. That shit wild, man.
Low key, they fucking their own race up doing that. They fuck. Like, white folks stupid. White folks think stupid. Look, there go one.
I'm asleep. That nigga said, there go one. Where?
Oh no, I'm looking at the it's a delay on I'm looking at the YouTube.
That nigga said, look, there go what? What, one of the old pictures?
It looked like a nigga.
One of the what's the names? Oh shit. I done been back off of it, man. But we done been on this bitch for a minute, man. I'm gonna cut this thing up, man.
Yeah, hour and a half. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I thank y'all for joining me, man.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Yeah, that shit was tight.
Man. Hell yeah. And like
Let's keep it going.
Shout out to
you cut it already?
Iceberg. Nah, it ain't cut yet. When my boy Iceberg will be back probably next week. We're gonna try to do this thing every week, man. What y'all think, man?
That'll work.
I think we can do it a couple times a week.
I do too. I was about to say that we just gonna try to squeeze the ones the extra ones in on the fly type shit, but we can schedule those weekly joints.
Okay, bet. Well, shit, we all just need to link in on the what's the name on the group.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shit up, man, and we get in this motherfucking and get it going.
Yeah,
man.
I got it now.
Okay, you got this shit.
I was trying to do that shit on the computer.
Right, yeah, hell yeah, it's better. It's definitely
like,
better.
Yeah, it's easy. It's more access on the computer.
Yep. Hell yeah, man. Well, shit, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in with us, man.
Yes, sir.
Talking shit, man. You can catch us on YouTube at BMM.live. Of course, the TikTok is at BMM.live, Instagram at BMM.live. You know, BMMLive.com. The store. So You know, everybody shout y'all handles out, man. Let them know where they can reach
Yep.
y'all
You
at.
can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Dirty P30, all one word, DIRTYPTHIRTY. And don't forget to join the Discord, man. Shot City Roleplay. We need bodies.
Facts. Come in the Discord if y'all on the PC, man. Jump in there, man. Jump in the Discord, Shot City. Man, we're gonna have fun, man. We just be chilling. We actually gonna do a podcast on there too, man, with our characters, man. So y'all tune in for that, man. We turning up, man. So
yes, sir.
Drip, where they can reach you at, Drip?
Ralphie Drip.
Ralphie Drip got an album out right now. He got a new project out right now, man. Shout that shit out. It's on YouTube right now. It's everywhere. Matter of fact,
Ralphie Drip on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Did you
fuck what you want?
Did you release the album, or was that was it just a track on Valentine's?
No, it's a little maxi single. I call it maxi single.
Right, the maxi. Y'all check. It's just called maxi, right?
Yep, little maxi single.
Yeah, y'all check out Maxi on YouTube right now. Ralphie Drip, Maxi, YouTube right motherfucking now. All right, y'all, and we out this bitch, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, boom.